So I'm here, he's posturing up. Now remember, the general beginning of where we're at. He either wants to be postured and back on his hips to help isolate my legs from my body. I can get my hips isolated, and so he can start attacking the leg line and things like that, right? The other option he has is to go down on his elbows, right? Pushing in and adding some pressure in on me here. Okay, his goal is to keep my hips and my shoulders isolated on the ground with some pressure so he can start working. Where he doesn't typically want to hang out is in no man's land, right about here where his chest is about 45 degrees from the ground. Does this all make sense? This is where I have a lot of opportunities for extracurricular activities, okay? If he allows me to offset from here, he's not in a good spot, right? If I can break him down, I can start attacking for Kimuras, right? Or if he allows me to offline his body, that typically puts him in a nice little near 45, where I can start looking for taking his back, right? Or if I can get to here, fighting for that arm bar and that kind of stuff. Any questions so far? All right. So he's gonna posture up. We're gonna pretend he's already posturing up. I'm gonna hip up. I'm gonna pull the curtain. I'm gonna try to get his hands to the neck. Okay. My foot comes down, and I'm gonna reach over the shoulder. Boom. Notice that my hand comes behind me here. I'm gonna go into awkward Santa Claus. That's right. I'm gonna sit on his lap, facing towards him. Bang. Now again, I'm still seeing people looking at the guy's head. If I'm looking at his head and I try to turn, if he fight me, like I'm having a hard time because I don't have any biomechanics working in my favor. So when I go for this, I sit up into awkward Santa, boom. If I start looking away immediately, I'm already in rotation. Go ahead and fight me a little bit. Okay, I already get him in rotation, boom, I step over, and I finish. Does that make sense? As much as you want to see someone screaming on a roller coaster, you're more interested in finishing the roller coaster yourself, okay? So you can get into here. The other thing I want you to focus on is finishing in a low pattern. So I'm here, boom, I sit up, bang, look. I'm gonna settle low and wide, okay? One thing I've noticed is when people go right to here, if they keep rolling, they can get you back into guard. And a great video to watch for that, oh sorry buddy, is we'll go look up Pedro Sauer versus Mr. Utah. Pedro hit Mr. Utah with this a couple of times because he was outweighed by so much. He kept rolling him back into guard. So what he started teaching it, let's go ahead and lay down on your back, is as he finished, excuse me, he's finishing low and basing wide. That way if he tries to continue to roll at home, I can base out here a little bit. Okay, then I can think about coming back. Any questions on that? Sure. All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. So guys, don't get hung up in the hand fight here. I'm seeing people like getting insistent on either the curtain, right, or the Mr. Miyagi. Guess what? The answer to that question is both. I can do either one. I might have to do like a variant action, right, to open up. This is just a hand fight. So don't get dogmatic about what I'm doing to break these grips, okay? Here, that's fine, right? Here, that's fine. Ooh. Okay? Don't get caught up. Okay? Don't get caught up. It's not one or the other, it's both. Okay? On this one, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Got it? Yes, sir. All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. So I go here, all right? I sit up, and he starts pushing me back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shrimp my hips back as I fall back. So I'm gonna push with my feet and I'm gonna fall here to my side. I'm trying to get my hips back. Notice where my foot kind of came to. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna look away and I'm gonna push his leg away. Boom. My hip over. Okay. I don't do this. I don't go here. He pushes me back. Okay. I want to make sure.
My version can work.
Yeah. So you might have to. The problem is I want to get my hip down on the mat as quick as I can, so I have an angle attack with this leg, right? But if I just wait to fall, I'm going to fall more into a pin position than I want to. So as I come out, as soon as I feel him pushing me back, I fall on my hip, and I might have to sit back a little bit, but now I have this position. I come over the top right here, okay? And then luckily, his parents signed his waiver, so it's okay to smack around a 15-year-old, okay? Any questions on that?
Sure.
All right. You can talk to the Lorax about legalities of punching a 15-year-old, but so far it's so good. You guys need to see it again, or are you good?
Sure.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. A lot of people don't realize how much you actually still use the bump sweep at a mid to high level. You may not use it for a sweep, but kind of like the omoplata, where there's not a ton of omoplatas being hit, you still use the omoplata to set up other things. You'll sweep people with omoplata. You have a lot of options with the omoplata, okay? So same thing with the bump. So I come here, boom. Instead of reaching over to the shoulder, the far side shoulder, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cross face him with my biceps. So as I come up, I'm gonna drive him forward, and that's what I'm looking for. So I have a couple of options. Right now, one of my favorite ones to do is I'm gonna sit back as he drives back, and I'm gonna get a whizzer. Boom, nice and tight. Okay, with no gi, I like to reach to my thigh on the other side. So guys, Geronimo, come over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm right here, I'm rowing here, and I either can put my hand here, or if I end up landing really close, I can frame on the wrist like so. Okay, but I like to get here. Now, again, you have a couple of options where you can put this foot. You can put it here. I call it like kind of the rock climbing method, where I'm pushing in here. I do this because I find I can activate my internal rotator right here, this rotation right here, a little bit easier. Trey, when we were talking about this, he prefers this right here, and he's fine right here. He feels really strong here. So it's kind of a 6-in-1 scenario. Find what works best for you. So as I come down, I'll be here, but what I want to do is as I'm coming down, I want to check this leg as much as I can. Okay, I want to be here. Now, don't make the mistake, and this is very common, is as I fall back, I'm not hyper-focused on getting here. That's not what I'm looking for. The key is to kickstand my butt far away from him as I fall, and that will give me what I need. Okay, I want to be here. So as he comes back up to gain his position, I'm nice and tight. Now, the other common mistake is that people keep their hips engaged into their partner, and this is what you don't want. Even with a strong whizzer and a good foot placement, all he has to do is direct his head to center line, and now he's in a passing position, right? He can go ahead and do it again. He killed my whizzer, right? He's already starting to look for a pass here, okay? So what I want to do is I want to kickstand my hips. What I mean by that is I want to create a tripod with my hips and kick out, boom. So I have a connection, and my hips are far away from him. Getting as heavy as I can on his shoulder. So it's kind of like a pin. All right, so as I sit into this, right? So he's here, I'm gonna go, boom, right? I sit up, I drive. As I sit back, I wanna create a space where my body was, where his head falls through. So I go ahead and push into me, boom, I'm here. See where his chest fell into where my body used to be? And then I'm pushed here, nice and tight. Now, I can start looking for setups. One of my favorite setups from here is I'll hook here first, and that way if he starts coming in with his hand, I can go here, and I just turn over, boom. Okay, so one more time. Boom, I sit up. He pushes me back, boom. Top foot, comes to the trap, I clear here. If he comes in, I straighten it, pull my foot through, and I turn all the way to the other side. My knee on this side comes around the shoulder, tries to plug into his ear. This one's pushing down. Any questions? All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3.